Good morning, YouTube. Hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. It's a little rainy on the East Coast, but we're going to push through nonetheless. Hope you're having a fantastic day, regardless, as usual, no matter what you're going through, right? So, story of my life. I I used to play the PS2 a lot when I was smaller. I don't know if y'all watched that short about Budokai 3. But I did used to play the PS2 a lot. This was the controller that we last left on. And I stopped buying. I'm just going to be honest. I stopped buying PlayStation product at PS3. This is the DualShock 3. I didn't like the R2, L2 buttons. They were kind of weird. I don't know. They just didn't resonate with me very well. So I actually bought my first PlayStation product in the past, I would say 10 years. Right here, I got a Galactic Purple PS5 DualSense controller, and I was nervous because I don't normally play with the PlayStation controller. I've always played with Xbox controllers, and I said, "Dang, wow, this controller feels so good." And I'm gonna get into some details as to why it feels better than this controller. And this is just going to be a comparison for the most part for controllers that I play Monster Hunter with. This is not going to be a first-person shooter comparison. That's what I did in my other video, which I also link right about here. So moving forward, I'm going to make this video really short. It's just a controller update video. I love giving y'all controller update videos. I went ahead and got a DualSense Edge last night. Went ahead. It was literally like 10 o'clock last night, and I was so excited to get it that I didn't do the unboxing for you guys this time because I was so excited to play with the controller. Being that the first one I got felt so good, I was just really excited to play with this. Now, this is not going to be a technical video because there's plenty of videos for those people out there that need the technicalities to decimate their opponents and stuff like that. This is not that video. So it just came with some really cool stuff. To be honest, it did feel as though I did pay a lot of money for this. So if you're looking for something such as a controller that makes you feel like you spend a lot of money, this is it right here. So it came in a nice little bag. The packaging, first of all, shout out to Sony for making the packaging superb in comparison to anything I've ever played with or opened up, and it came in this nice shell. Pretty cool. It has a little charger flap in the back right here. Again, this is not going to be a technical video. I'm just showing y'all what it came with. Brand new, out the box. Nothing was missing. I took off the shiny shell. Shiny shell looks kind of cheap to me, in my opinion. Again, my opinion, no. And they come with also short, I guess what you would call it, short dome sticks. Shorter dome sticks. There you go. Shorter sticks. And this one is going to be the longer one, or the mid-rise, I guess. Oh, it's a little long. I don't know. I'll compare it later. I don't plan on swapping these sticks, to be honest, until I find a game that is comfortable for me to play these with. And then there's the charger lock or the USB-C lock. And then you have your paddles, which you can only put 2 on the back. I know a lot of people are upset about that, but I don't use paddles anyway, so GG's. Paddles. I'm still kind of warming up to, at least for what I'm about to do on Monster Hunter. And remapping, I heard that remapping the buttons for Monster Hunter is going to be it's a little bit extra. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't really need to remap buttons for Monster Hunter. It'd be nice though, but it's not necessary. So I'm not complaining. My biggest selling point for this controller is the fact that these stick modules are replaceable. I know you all have heard that a bazillion times, but I'm just keeping it real with you guys. All I care about is replaceable modules and the reliability of the controller. Now, the reliability of the controller is number one for me. The reliability of any product in which I buy will always be number one for me. And reason being is because I need it to last outside the box. People are like, yeah, well, get it with the warranty. I did not get this controller with the warranty. If this thing does not last outside the box, trust me, Sony, you will be losing just as quick as you got a new customer. For the past 10 years, you will lose a customer because you can't tell me that a DualShock 2 can last for 15, 16 years and I buy this bad boy out the box and it ain't working. This ain't got no warranty on it, by the way, obviously. This don't got no warranty either. These things still work. These are dead stock. No, not dead stock. These are basically just stock controllers that's lasted 10 plus years. Why can't these new products last 10 plus years? That's for y'all to answer. Sony, go ahead and answer that question. But that's not for me to answer today because what I'm going to do is just test the reliabilities of these products because I do take care of my things, as you can see. I still got my Beyblades, my Hot Wheel cars. As you can see, I'm not playing around with when it comes down to just things that I take care of personally and I do enjoy. So I still have, like, again, like this is the original Xbox One controller, no stick drift on it. This is the one from the video that I was telling you about, whether Control Freaks work for Halo Infinite. This is the same exact controller. It still works. I don't know what everybody else is doing to their controllers, putting it on the black market, putting it on the corner store, I don't know. But banging it against the walls, I don't know what you guys are doing. But again, this is not a pro controller. I don't play with pro controllers. This is going to be the first pro controller I'm going to be playing with. I'm not even using the pro capabilities to do what I need to do. So whatever you guys are doing with your controllers, please investigate because you may not need to be doing that much with your controllers to play the games in which you play. So going back to the controller itself, it does have the paddle things. Again, I'm not going to be using the paddles for PC. I don't care for the paddles right now. I don't, and remapping and stuff like that. But I will later when the game of my choice does come into play where I do have to worry about those things. But for right now, I won't be. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this controller is so amazing. It feels really good in hand. In comparison, the weight is the most noticeable thing between the stock and the Pro controller. At least the DualSense and the DualSense Edge. That's the biggest difference I noticed right out the box was the weight. And then of course the shiny plastic, which, and then of course another thing is the black touchpad with the Sony logos on it. That's one of my favorite things too. It's just a remarkable controller. I love this thing so much. To take off the sticks, you just pop off, just like that, and put it back on. I won't be doing that very much or very often, so you guys get to enjoy the first time. That was the first time I actually did that because I was so nervous of not messing up the module, but I forgot that you could replace these modules anyway. So that's just to go. That's just to tell you exactly what my mindset was when I was buying this controller. Was what am I always so nervous about? Clearly, it's always stick drift. It's always been stick drift. This is my original Monster Hunter controller that I will be playing with, or I was playing with, but I will be putting this controller to rest because not only is it custom and I love it very much, but it deserves a rest. Honestly, as you can see, the Control Freak here is starting to show a little bit of wear and sweat because I do. Quincy does sweat. Black Knight does sweat. Whatever you know me as, which game you play, go ahead and drop in the comments. What do you know? Who do you know? I play Call of Duty, Halo, whatever. But yeah, exactly. Getting more into the controller, I will be playing this and doing more tests today on Monster Hunter. It's a little bit excessive for Monster Hunter, but it does feel good. So getting into the feeling, this controller. So getting into the feeling, DualSense, Sony, I'm just gonna lay it out right now. Sony, y'all did a fantastic job with putting this controller together. Despite with all the other, I don't know if there are any bad reviews. Look, let me tell you, Black Knight told you this controller is beast. Why I say that? I would, again, in my previous video, my previous controller video, I told you guys I was in the market for a professional controller, but the Xbox Series 2 controller, which I'll still be getting later on when I feel more comfortable with, I guess, spending that kind of money and throwing it away. Not gonna lie, when that does come to be the case, then I'll get it. But right now, no. So I went ahead and got something more reliable. But anyways, getting into the feeling of the controller, Sony, you did a great job. And why I say that is because there are different rumble settings and different vibration settings in the controller that's already set stock that make the game already feel like I'm playing a different game. So Monster Hunter, if you're doing heavy moves, it has a heavy rumble. If you're doing something light, you're doing, like, let's say for my dual blader, if you're Iron Shuriken, it'll do a slightly lower medium vibration. But if I'm doing the heavy move, you know, the blade dancing move, you know, the infamous, then the controller rumbles a lot. And then it's really good to see that, because not everything deserves a heavy rumble, so it does show that it does save on battery life. Now, I didn't charge the controller out the box before I played with it. I just literally turned it on and played with the controller. And I don't know what people are complaining about with battery life, but it lasted the entire night, and I got home at about 10 o'clock, and I didn't get off of the game until 3 o'clock. So I don't know what... I guess y'all are playing on the hottest setting or something, or I don't know what. Again, I don't know what other controller players are doing to their controllers to play simple games. I mean, good games, whatever. But guys, y'all gotta chill out. I don't even mind, to be honest, with the battery. I know I've heard a lot about the battery life. I don't mind the battery life being short, but again, I didn't experience the short battery life last night, so I went ahead and fully charged it overnight, and it did charge overnight fully. So I'm ready to game again, like I always do. In comparison, of course, to the rechargeables. Hopefully, I mean, I do have rechargeables, and you know, there's no comparison. I'm not gonna say there's no comparison between the battery life between these controllers. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't know yet, but I will let y'all know and update y'all in the future if, again, the battery life is a concern, but it wasn't for me. Again, so. What else did I really like? Now, I will say that for those who are confused as to which controller is better, there is no better controller between the Xbox controller and the PlayStation controller. All my life, I've always been one of those, oh, I'm an Xbox guy, oh, I'm a PlayStation guy. Those days are over. Only because now I'm a little older and I understand a lot more between what's going on with just accessories and peripherals altogether. But I will say that these controllers were actually designed for different purposes. And if you do use the PlayStation controller for first person, that's great. I'm not going to knock you for it. But I don't, only because the Xbox controller is a little bit more ergonomic that way. But what I realized with the PlayStation controller is that it's just simply more comfortable for games that require you to literally be as comfortable as possible, which should be every game, but more emphasis on games like role-playing games, so to speak, and things like that, like Monster Hunter. Like I'm telling y'all right now, Monster Hunter is the game which I'm playing with these controllers, and I wanted something more comfortable and reliable. Now, I wanted to avoid stick drift as much as possible on this custom controller, which I currently did play the Monster Hunter with, but what are you gonna do? You're gonna take it apart? I don't feel like going through the hassle of taking this controller apart. So just at least replace the stick, and the stick is gonna be yellow. It's custom, so I don't really feel like messing with that. So went ahead and got this because I know for a fact that I can replace these. And I'm going to do this for the first time, too, with you guys on camera. Simple as that. Replace the module. Simple. And then you slide it in. You put the lock back in. Voila, imagine. That right there. Y'all know me. That right there is the greatest feeling I've ever felt. I don't want to even say in a controller, but it is. All it has. I know there's going to be like, oh, there's all these other controllers that already do that, blah, blah, switch modules, blah, blah. But are they going to be reliable? Buy the best controllers possible. I want the truth, the raw truth. So I did a lot of homework before I went ahead and got these, of course. And I just feel much more comfortable buying this controller. But anyways, getting more into the juiciness. I have never owned a PlayStation product in a while, so this touchpad thing is super new to me. The touchpad, wow, it just feels great, and the button action distance also as well does feel amazing on this controller in comparison to this. It just feels a lot different than, you hear that? That is what I was looking for. You don't hear anything. You don't hear anything. That is what I'm looking for in a controller, where I am literally just walking around in town, checking out my armor. You know, I don't want to keep having to hear. I mean, I'm not hitting the buttons that hard, but it just gets annoying. And it's like, you're trying to play quiet and, you know, peaceful. And it's just like, clack, 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 clack. It's like, dude, I don't need all that. Now, if I'm playing, when I'm playing Halo, y'all gonna get that. This is the Halo controller, of course. Well, y'all gonna get that. And y'all gonna hear all those, you know, buttons I'm pressing, but not for Monster Hunter. So I want a clean, smooth gaming, I guess, session when I'm playing games like Monster Hunter. And I'll also be playing Diablo 4 with this controller. That's just an example. Diablo 4, Monster Hunter, things of that nature, I will be playing with this controller specifically. These controllers are built for different things, and I know that more now going into the game. Before I buy a Series 2, again, like I said, I'm gonna mess around with this is my first Pro controller. So, what a day. What a day. What a time to be alive. I'm so grateful that I'm alive to witness such a technological advancement in controllers. You know, it's sometimes you just gotta take a step back and really look and say, dang, this is where we came from. The PlayStation 2 controllers, when I used to play Budokai 3, these analog sticks used to break all the time, especially if you didn't get a first party or an actual Sony controller or something similar to this. These analog sticks used to bust all the time. Now, for my DBZ Budokai fans, you guys know why. You had to roll these bad boys when you clashed. So hopefully I did some thinking, and I'm like, well, okay, well, clearly this is a great upgrade from that, but that doesn't necessarily solve the issue with playing Budokai 3 and mashing these analog sticks. And again, I never played with this controller. I actually got a converter for the PS3 and play with my Xbox 360 controller. So that's just how much I did not like playing first-person shooters with this controller, and I used to play first-person shooters a lot when I was younger, and I still do, but just not with a PlayStation controller. That's just my preference. Do not, go to your friends and say, well, he said that the Xbox controller was better. No. That's not the case. Anywho, so again, I hope that in the event that Budokai Tenkaichi 4 does come out with the rollers, and if they do, when I mean rollers, what I mean by rollers, you had to literally do this every single time. And if you're if you're an actual Z fighter on Budokai 3, when I mean Z fighter, you played against computers that were on max difficulty. You were rolling every single fight. There's no questions. I mean, not every single fight, but there was a really high chance that you were. So hopefully this does reduce that butt hurtness of course, having dead analog sticks, and I could just replace those and put these back in, or put whichever one is not working in, so that way I don't have to, go out and buy another controller for just playing one game. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not looking to keep buying, the same Pro controller over and over and over and over and over and over again. I always want to, if it's just the analog sticks that is the issue, I want to be able to just spend $20, replace the analog sticks, boom, done, playing my game, no problem. Hey guys, I'm back. No problem. That's just beautiful, to me at least. I did notice that this controller did have the black buttons in comparison to the stock white controller that you normally get. But again, I tried to make this, I'm going to make this video a little short. It's not too, I'm just talking, basically just vlogging about my controller experience. This is what I'm going to start doing. I feel good about it. I like doing this for you guys because it actually lets me realize as a person how much technology technological advances has happened for controllers, and to appreciate more about controllers than what it seems as though that I've ever done so far. So the Xbox Series will be coming soon. Again, like I said, I'll be waiting on quote really high disposable income for that, because clearly I don't understand how there's no lawsuit for that, but for Microsoft and the Series controllers. But yeah, that's a little wild. But I will be in search for my perfect Xbox Series 2 controller where there's no issues with it, and I can't wait to dive into that later in the next controller update. Hope you guys enjoyed this one for the most part. I'm not doing the technicalities. I'm just letting y'all know what's going on. Hope y'all have a fantastic day. See y'all on Monster Hunter. You know I will be slicing and dicing more than ever. Peace.